Life of a mom when you got spit up in your hair. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm super excited to be filming this video for you guys. It's been a crazy week for me. As most of you guys know, I gave birth to my son Cole Allen on March 16th, 2018, and tomorrow he will be a week old, which is crazy and kind of sad because I cannot believe it's already been a week. But yeah, sorry about my setup today, but this is the best lighting in the house, so this is what we're working with. So, it's getting kind of dark outside, or looking dark. So I kind of waited a little late to be filming this video because I know the lighting is kind of bad, and plus I look pretty sleep deprived because guess what? I am sleep deprived. And yeah, it's been a tough week. I have some other things that I want to talk to you guys about in a separate video. So let me know down below if you guys would like to see it. But I want to basically talk to you guys about my little experience that I had with trying to breastfeed. And the main reason why I want to make the video is so I could maybe inform some new moms out there about it. So leave me a comment down below if you'd like to see that, but I'm going to make a separate video about it, so I'm not taking up too much time in this video. So anyways, on with the story of my labor experience, which honestly is a blur, so I hope I don't leave out any parts, but if I end up remembering something, I'll talk to you guys about it in a vlog, so make sure you watch my vlogs so you don't miss anything. But it all started on, I think it was, wait a minute, Thursday night going into Friday morning. It was about, me and my husband went to bed I think about 9, I want to say, and about 11:30 I was laying on my left side, and I rolled over to the right side, and all of a sudden I was just hit with this really sharp contraction. And I was having a lot of Braxton Hicks, as you guys know if you watch my vlogs, but they were getting more intense every day, and I was telling you guys that, and I just had a feeling that it was getting closer and closer. So, and plus I was losing more of the mucus plug, and I just knew that it was going to happen soon. I just knew it. So, anyways, after I got hit with this sharp pain, and I was like, oh my god, and then I ended up having to go to the bathroom because I felt like I had to go number 2. And the trouble is that I couldn't go number 2. So I was in a lot of pain from not being able to go number 2. Plus I was having non-stop contractions in the bathroom for about an hour. It was so bad and painful that I was crying basically on the toilet. And finally I yelled for my husband, and he come in, and I told him, I'm like, something's wrong because these contractions aren't going away. And it was the most intense that I had the contractions. And that honestly wasn't even intense until later in the story. But so anyways, finally I was able to use the bathroom and I felt a little better, but the contractions kept coming. So I took a shower really quick, and then they just kept coming. So I called my mom and gave her a heads up. She called my aunts, and I just said, I think this is the real deal. So we headed out the door to the hospital at midnight, I want to say. Or yeah, I think I was in the bathroom for an hour or something. So I think we left here at 12:30, and we got to the hospital around 2, I think, in the morning. So by the time I got to the hospital, the contractions were still coming, and they were about probably 5 minutes apart, maybe a little long, I want to say 5 minutes apart. And it's really true what they say, you cannot explain what a contraction feels like. It feels like, it starts out like menstrual cramps. So if you've ever had period cramps, that's what that feels like. But then it expires into a whole nother level of pain. It just a period cramp on crack or something. I don't know. It's crazy. It feels like it's just revving up from your abdomen, and it's squeezing your stomach, and it's just like really painful to where almost you can't breathe. And I was at the point where by the time I got to the hospital, I couldn't walk through them, and they were getting hard to breathe through. And I've always heard people say, well, get to the hospital if you can't breathe through your contractions. And I'm just like, oh, I'll be able to do that. Nope. I had to stop, breathe, take deep breaths, exhale, all that kind of stuff. It's true. When you're in active labor, you have to do that. So we got to the hospital, and they took me back, and my blood pressure was a little elevated. So I had to wait until my blood pressure calmed down, and it was just because of my nerves. I was really nervous. So finally they let me go and walk the halls. So I walked the halls for probably a couple hours, I want to say. And then they checked me. And when I got to the hospital, they checked me first, and I was at a 3 centimeters dilated. And then after walking the halls, I think I was still at a 3, and then like another hour went by, and I ended up being at a 4, I want to say. So they would not admit me still, which I was getting really aggravated with because I didn't understand like why they weren't admitting me. But later on I found out it was because all the rooms were filled up in the labor and delivery. Like there was tons of people having babies the same day, I guess. So anyways, like later on in the morning is when things got really, really intense. Contractions were coming like probably every 3 minutes, I want to say. And I was still at a 4 at this point. And we went downstairs to get breakfast at the hospital, and I was like in so much pain. Like it hurt so bad to where it took my breath away, and I ended up like crying a little bit here and there just because they were really painful. And so anyways, after that was over, I had to wait for them to come check me again, and I was getting really discouraged because they haven't admitted me yet. And I was just like letting them know that I was not coming back to my house because I lived an hour and a half away. So I wasn't leaving the hospital. They were going to admit me. I was like, I'm in active labor. I don't understand. But luckily my doctor showed up, which she was an awesome doctor, really good at what she does, and just really glad that she was there to like deliver me and everything. Super nice. So she come back into the room, and she told us that she was going to admit me. She said normally she would have, if I wouldn't have been 39 weeks, she wouldn't have been able to admit me at what stage I was at in labor, which was 4 centimeters, which I thought was crazy. But luckily she admitted me, and I think by like 11 or 12 on Friday we got to go back to the labor room, and they hooked me up on the IV, which was really weird because I never had an IV before. And basically, if you've never had one, it's really strange. Like they put the IV in your like wrist is where they put it on me. I think it's where, yeah, on my wrist. And it just kind of feels like this cold liquid that you can actually feel go into your body. It just feels cold. It's really weird. So that was different. And then I could not get the epidural right away because there were so many other people, I guess, getting it. And at this point, I can't remember how long I was in there before they checked me again, but I think it was like another hour or so went by, and they checked me, and I was at a 5, I think, finally progressed to a 5, and we've been there since like 2 o'clock the night before. So I was kind of progressing slowly, and my water still had not broken either. So we waited a little bit, and then my doctor come in, and she said that she was going to break my water because she wanted to speed things up. And I was like, oh, okay. So she went to get the device to break my water, which was kind of intimidating, but in the moment I really didn't care because I just wanted to, you know, get the epidural at this point because the contractions were really strong and they were pretty painful. So she got this like long pointy thing, and if you guys have ever had your water broke, then you know what it looks like, but it was super long. And she was like, okay, you're gonna feel like like a balloon popping basically, and feel a little water gush out. So yeah, it was honestly more than that though. It really hurt, like really bad. When it didn't hurt her popping my water, but she was also kind of like, you know, had to go up in there. And it hurt so bad. Like so bad to where it instantly made me cry because it was just like a lot of pressure. So after that excruciating pain was over, they told me that I was, like not long after that, the contractions were worse than ever. So I'm at like a 5 centimeter dilated with no epidural, which I've heard like a lot of people getting them when they're only 1 centimeter dilated. So I felt like a trooper, which if you ask all my family and even the hospital staff, I think they were really impressed with how well that I actually did. But I was impressed with myself because you don't really know what you can stand as far as pain and as far as trying to get through something. You just kind of have to put yourself through it. At least that's, I don't know. It's like you don't really know what you can stand until you have to do it. It's like crazy. So yeah, I thought I was doing really good. But anyways, where was I? If you guys haven't noticed, I'm really kind of off in this video, and that's because I'm sleep deprived. I'm so tired. What I broke my water, the contractions come super strong now. And I think what had happened, it felt like to me that Cole had his feet up in my ribs. So when a contraction would come, it felt like I had all this pressure up in my upper rib cage to my like chest. And it just felt like it was gonna explode. Like it was that bad. And it was excruciating painful. And finally they come in and said, hey, you can get your epidural now. And I'm just like, yes, bring it on. I want the epidural. So I waited probably a good another 30 minutes or so before the woman actually come in because she was so busy with everybody else. And the anesthesiologist was awesome. She was super funny, had a good personality, was trying to make you laugh, keep you distracted and all that kind of stuff. And my impression of the epidural, that did not hurt at all. Like compared to what I've heard other people say, like it was so painful or oh it hurt. Not if you were having contractions. That level of pain wasn't even close to it. So the epidural, just from my opinion, I'm not saying that somebody else it might not hurt them or anything, but just from my opinion, it did not hurt. So, and once I got the epidural, which was also really weird because I never had anything like that, instantly I could just feel this cold sensation through my body and down into my legs, and it actually started on the left side. I could just feel my left leg, really funny, and it was really cold, and then it just kind of gradually started going numb, and it was so weird. And it was on the left side for the longest time, and I thought, oh my god, it's only going to take on one side of my body. But then they had to roll me over, and then it ended up going down the other leg, and I was like numb. I could no longer feel contractions. I was happy, content, and the only side effect that I got from the epidural was the shakes. Like I was like, which they said most people do get that. It's very common to have the shakes with the epidural, so I had that side effect. But other than that, I didn't have any side effects. I could still kind of move my legs around too, which I've heard some people wasn't able to do that. I actually could move mine pretty good. They were kind of like, felt like jello for the most part, but I could still kind of move them, but not like, you know, really move them, but you know what I mean. So, there's probably a lot more details to my story, but like I said, it happened over a week ago, and my cousin had told me that after I gave birth, a couple days later, that I would just probably forget everything, and I think she was right, because it's all a big blur to me. The whole entire day, the whole process, it's just a blur. It was the best day of my life, but it's just like blur, because it was just so intense and so, I don't really know what the word is. It was amazing, but it was just such an experience that I'll never forget, because I never been through anything like that. So anyways, after I got the epidural, I think it was like 4 hours went by, and all of a sudden I had this really strong pressure down in the vagina. And I could feel that, so I started hitting the epidural button like okay, I can feel some pain, or what feels like pain, when I'm having a contraction. I didn't know if it was my contractions coming back or what, but it felt different. It felt just like pressure down there, and I was like, when are they gonna come check me? Because I have a feeling that something is getting close, or I'm getting close to being dilated all the way, because I just had a lot of pressure. So finally they come and checked me, and the nurses were like, oh wow, she has almost got all of her she almost has no cervix left. And I was just sitting there like, yeah, that makes sense, because I could literally feel pressure down there. So basically I was at a 10 a couple hours later. So it took me like all this time to dilate to a 5, and then after she broke my water and I had the epidural, and about 4 hours later I was dilated to 10. So at this point they told me, well, we're not going to rush you into pushing. We want to give the baby time to come down so it won't be so hard for you whenever you have to push. So basically I wouldn't have to push for a long period of time, which I still pushed for a long period of time. But I think, you know, it did help to wait. But basically the pressure got a lot worse as time went on. The baby come down even further, and so yeah. Finally, when it was time to push, all the doctors come in, and one of the nurses actually asked me if I would like to see what was going on down there. So I said yes, out of like where I would normally say no. I was just like, yeah, let's see what it looks like, because you could actually see his head basically, and he had a lot of hair. So we watched for a while I pushed. Don't know if that's weird or not to some people, but I ended up doing it. I didn't think I would want to see down there, but I was kind of curious, so I did. And so did like my aunts and my mom, and my husband saw all that. But in the moment of giving birth, you really don't give a shit. Like, literally, you don't care. You just want to get the baby out safely, and you don't really care he was down there messing around. Like, I was so modest before and thought, oh my god, I don't want anybody to see my privates and da da da. But honestly, when you're in that moment, you don't care. That's the truth. So, what was the other one? So then the nurses and everything, finally when it was time for me to try to push, they were trying to coach me, you know, how to do it and everything. And we basically did like 3 tries where I take a deep breath when I felt when a contraction was coming on, and I could feel the pressure. So I kind of knew when it was time to push because I could feel the pressure, and it felt really good to push. It just kind of relieved that pressure. So started pushing, which took forever, honestly. I pushed for an hour and a half, and it was just like the longest hour and a half, but it was the most rewarding, amazing experience of my life. It was just awesome. It was amazing, and I was honestly so scared that I was going to end up having a C-section. I was terrified of a C-section. If you guys didn't know, like, I don't want any kind of surgery. I just don't like surgery. The thought of surgery freaks me out. So when I was actually there in the moment being able to push my baby out, I was so happy that I was able to have a vaginal delivery. And I had a really good experience. So finally, when I was actually pushing my son out, I could kind of feel some of that. I don't think that the epidural did not take the pain away of the pressure. It did not fix that. It took away the pain of the contractions, but not the pressure. So you could still kind of feel, I could feel everything down there pretty much. And I kind of could feel him being born too, which was really strange. But once I did it, it was amazing. They put him on my chest, and, you know, tears were flowing. We was all crying, you know how that is, but it was amazing. So, and the baby come out screaming, and he come out buck wild, like, he come out in his little old head. He's so strong. My son is so strong. Like, he's just all the time moving his hands, and he's strong. Like, you'll try to dress him, and he's really strong. But when he come out of the womb, his head was just like, he was up looking around. It was kind of funny because he's just like strong. And yeah, it was really amazing. So I feel like my story was just kind of like ordinary, but honestly that's pretty much what happened the whole time we was there. I mean, obviously there was more details than what I told you guys, but I can't remember every single thing just because it was just so, you know, one of them things that, I don't want to say traumatic because that just sounds awful, but you know what I mean. Like, it was just really intense. So yeah, afterwards I actually could feel the stitches too. Like, I got a 2nd degree tear, so when she sewed me back up, I could kind of feel that. It was kind of painful, but I honestly didn't care because I just was focused on my son laying on me. So they did really good with that. I didn't even care what was going on. I didn't see none of that afterbirth crap or nothing, but my whole family did. And they were telling me how they couldn't believe how much stuff was, like, TMI, but, you know, comes out after that, which is kind of gross. But I didn't see any of it. So I could kind of feel it, but I didn't see any of it. So I don't know. So yeah, after that, I think we was in there for a little while, and then the nurses had to get me up to go to the bathroom to pee, which was kind of difficult at first. They had to make me walk with my legs really straight, and 2 girls helped me into the bathroom to pee, and I did pee right away, which was a good thing because they wanted me to pee. Every time I could have brightened the video. Sorry about that, but I had you guys really low on lighting. So yeah, I was able to pee, which was good, which meant that I was doing really well and everything. My blood pressure was really good. The baby did excellent. He was perfect. There was no imperfection. He was 7 pounds, 11 ounces, 20 inches long, and he was just perfect to me. So it was definitely amazing. You guys probably have already seen the labor and delivery vlog. Obviously I wasn't able to vlog like the actual footage. My aunt, I think, might have footage of it, so if I do end up getting the footage off of her, I will put it in like a separate video so you guys can like see. Obviously not see down there, but you know what I mean, like in the room and stuff. I'm not really sure what she got vlogged, or if she did. I thought she said she did, so I'm gonna need to ask her about that. But yeah, after that they took us over to the mother and baby ward to recover. I got to take Cole in my arms, and we got to ride in a wheelchair to the other side of the hospital where we were going to be staying for the next 2 nights, which I just really want to quickly say, the hospital service is like nice, you know, because you got people there if you have questions and you need help with anything. But on the other hand, it was honestly really annoying just because it was really hard to rest, because you have nurses coming in every 2 to 4 hours checking on you and the baby, doing different things. I saw so many different people. It just was insane. And me and my husband honestly were just so ready to go home. We could not wait to leave the hospital, because it's not that you know, the care sucked or anything, because the care was very good, but it just was like constant, you know, and I didn't really think that it was going to be like that, but it was. So I didn't sleep. I don't know how the heck I even was surviving, but I had like hardly no sleep for like days. So I don't even know how I was functioning, but I somehow was. That's another, I guess your body can go through a lot. Yeah. So yeah, we got to come home on Sunday. I think it was Sunday, and we were super excited to come home. So yeah, the next part of the separate video that I want to make for you guys is I wanted to make the video about my struggle with breastfeeding and what I'm doing now. And obviously I will have like an update video, maybe like a postpartum update video. I'll go ahead and show you guys just for fun. No, just because you guys might be curious, but this is what my stomach looks like now, a week later after giving birth. So I'll just kind of show you guys. But yeah, this is what I look like now. I've lost seriously a lot of weight. But yeah, your stomach's like super weird after having a baby. And it's honestly still really weird that he's not in there. I've kind of gotten sad about it a couple times, but honestly, it's way more rewarding that he's actually here now. So yeah, he's out in his swing right now, taking a little nap. But if you guys want to see more of him, I actually vlogged a little bit today of him, and I'm vlogging. So just watch my vlogs, and you will get to see my little man. And yeah, I could not imagine my life now without him. He is everything that I ever could want. And I'm so happy, and I'm getting teary-eyed, so I need to stop talking about that because I've also been very emotional this week. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed my labor and delivery story. If you have any questions about anything else that I might have forgot to talk about in the hospital or anything, leave me a comment down below. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.